Potential within pregnancy by Gage and Natosh. Pregnancy is the ultimate embodiment of resilience and adaptation within the human body that a person can experience in one lifetime. So, I say this because there are many changes that occur during pregnancy through there's changes in the body in relation to muscles and bone structure, as well as hormones and the brain itself. So while some of them are smaller or bigger, they are all important because they all have to work together to make sure the baby is able to be safely brought into the world by the mother. And, sorry. So, the changes, I'm sorry, could we try this again? I was not expecting a second.
No, just pick up where you are. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you've been doing fine up to now.
Okay. Well, okay. These changes cannot be avoided if the mother wants to have a successful pregnancy. So I say this because, I'm super flustered, but okay. Some of the adaptations that occur in the woman's body during pregnancy can be related to the muscle structure and the shape and the actual curvature of the spine and whatnot. And, but it all works together to make sure that the baby can be successfully carried and then delivered later on. According to the Journal of Parental Education, research identified the tasks that women accomplish during pregnancy, which are critical as they make the transition to becoming a mother. The physical and emotional changes of pregnancy are not just unfortunate side effects of changing hormones and enlarged uterus, but are all necessary to make sure that the baby
You're doing good. Just keep going.
No, I wasn't expecting a second, and my nerves are getting to me. I don't think I can keep going right now.
Just take a minute, take a deep breath, and then pick up right where you're at. As is it. You've been doing great.
These changes are all necessary for the mother, and they not only affect the mother physically, but emotionally as well. Now, none of these changes are easy, and they can all be extremely painful. So, for example, according to Bullen Kakmak in the Journal of Maternal, Fetal, and Neonatal Medicine, pregnancy is a physiological process, and many changes occur in a woman's body during it. These changes occur in all systems to varying degrees, including the cardiovascular, respiratory, and musculoskeletal system. The hormonal, anatomical, and physiological changes occurring during pregnancy result in weight gain, decrease abdominal muscle strength, and neuromuscular control, increase and as well as spinal lordosis. So these changes shift the center of the gravity of the woman so that she's able to carry the baby in a safer manner as it takes up the space within her uterus. And it alters the balance, and it alters the curvature of her spine, making it more difficult for her to balance and increasing the risk of her falling or incurring to another difficult and painful situation. Now, not only do changes occur in the body, in the skeletal system and the actual structure of the body, but in the brain as well. According to Sayori Moreno at PLOS ONE, pregnancy and the postpartum period involve numerous physiological adaptations that enable the development and survival of the offspring. A distinct neural plasticity characterizes the female brain during this period of time, and dynamic structural and fundamental changes occur that accompany the fundamental behavioral adaptations. Now, these actual changes themselves work together to make sure the mother is less focused on only her own self-interests, but also focuses on protecting and caring for the life within her body. It's more the adaptation that makes me say that is the most important part of, it's the most important sign of resilience and adaptation of the human body, though, as there's also an incredible amount of resilience that is necessary during pregnancy. Pregnancy is an extremely uncomfortable and downright painful period for a woman, as there are many changes that occur in her body. For example, one such thing is spider veins and varicose veins. These are both engorged blood vessels within the body that swell because of a surplus of blood that is needed to take care of both her and the baby while it's within her body. These can be painful, they can burn, itch, and they don't go away for weeks. There's nothing that can be done to relieve them. Women have to put up with things like this off and on throughout the whole entire pregnancy without stop. And while it is important because it shows that the baby is properly taken care of and still healthy, it is quite painful and uncomfortable for the woman. There's also resilience needed in the actual process of birthing the baby, as it is going to be one of the most painful experiences that a human can endure. According to Dr. Muhammad Ali Beji, in the Iranian Journal of Nursing and Midwifery Research, labor pain is one of the most severe pains that has ever been evaluated, and it is stemmed to fear that because of the pain, there are even many women who are not even willing to go through a natural birth because of how extremely excruciatingly painful it is. Both of these show that a woman must be incredibly resilient and strong to be able to push through the difficulty surrounding her situation while having the child if she wants to have a successful carriage. However, there is another extremely difficult situation that the human body can go through that could be considered to use more adaptation and resilience than pregnancy itself, being adolescence. So adolescence is a transitional phase of growth and development between childhood and adulthood. Just like in pregnancy, many changes take place in it, and these occur over a much longer period of time than pregnancy itself does, taking the course of a human's entire teen years, while pregnancy is just 9 months. According to Stanford Medicine, the teenage years bring many changes. These are not all physical, but also mental and social as well. During these years, teens become more able to think abstractly, and over time can make plans and set long-term goals. These changes are extremely important as well for everyone to become successful and capable adults, and could be considered to rival in importance of pregnancy. However, pregnancy is still a greater show of resilience and adaptation, as there is much more that occurs over a much shorter period of time that is also more painful and has lasting effects on the woman's body. To conclude, pregnancy is the best representation of adaptation and resilience that a human can experience in one singular lifetime. And without it, humanity would not be to continue, as there would be, quite simply, no more life.
Terrific. Gage, I've got 2 questions for you,
Okay.
and then we will be done. So for the first one, was this your initial topic, or did your research go in a different direction than you initially started out researching?
So when I first started, I didn't quite have an idea of what I wanted. I just knew I wanted to do something in relation to the human body or brain. But this was the very first topic that I chose in relation to that. There was no other before it.
Okay, terrific. And why did you choose this one as a representation of the greatest resilience?
Because it's really just because of how, obviously as a man, I can experience it, so I never really thought about it very much. But once doing some more research, it's excruciatingly painful and difficult with, depending on your situation, low chance of success. And I just thought that it made the best show of adaptation and resilience that a human can experience in one lifetime because of how difficult it was for the woman to actually go through and experience.
Terrific. And then as a follow-up question, what additional questions emerged as you were exploring this? And would any of these questions be important enough to further explore?
It really just made me think of what other sorts of shows of adaptation go on in a human's lifespan. Not all regarding as in like adolescence or pregnancy, but also overcoming trauma and things like that. While I did not really go into any further depth on them, I do think that they could be definitely topics that should be further pursued and explored.
Fantastic.